Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank you and Chairman Dodd and others involved for having this conference, and I look forward to participating. As a matter of fact, I'd say in general, there's no issue that I've enjoyed working on more in the 3 years and 5 months that I've been here than financial reform. And I look around this room and think about what an unusual place Washington is. Fortunately, so different than the rest of our country. We began this Congress working on health care, and two of the main driving forces regarding health care were the cost of health care to individuals and trying to lower that, and the cost of health care to our government. And we proceeded over the next 15 months to pass a bill that increased the cost of both of those. And so here we are today, in the middle of an economy that is slow, that we're concerned about, people all across this country. We're passing a financial reform bill that's not only going to limit credit, but it's going to increase the cost of credit and probably and most likely make us very non-competitive with the rest of the G20, right at a time, by the way, when the G20 is setting standards. There's nothing in this bill, nothing, that does anything but harm to those companies, across our country in the heartland of America that make things, that go out and need to borrow a line of credit from a bank. Maybe they're making heavy equipment and they want to hedge the cost of metal prices so that they're able to keep people employed. Maybe they're selling that product to another country and they want to hedge so that they know they're getting paid in U.S. dollars as they know them today. And maybe they're seeking credit. Maybe it's a mezzanine credit of some kind that a bank won't ordinarily give to them. This bill does everything it can to destroy the ability of that company to seek capital to create jobs, right at a time in this country when we're trying to create jobs. Only in Washington. The other thing, and let me say this bill has some good things in it, and I'm not about to say that it doesn't. We have a lot of smart staff people on both sides of the aisle that have worked on it, and no doubt there are some good provisions. But what it doesn't do is address the core issues of the crisis. I mean, at the end of the day, we can talk about all this that we wish, but the fact is that there were loans given to people all across this country that had no ability to pay it back. And that's what has brought down every single financial institution in this country that has come down. That has been the problem. And there is nothing whatsoever in this bill, nothing in this bill, to deal with underwriting. Nothing in this bill to do with underwriting. We also have the issue of Fannie and Freddie, which were enablers. And I'm not about to say they created this whole crisis, but it's amazing to me that we wouldn't even have the ability to deal with them on our balance sheet here as we deal each year with our budget. So what I would say to the chairman, I'm obviously disappointed. I'd worked over the course of this last year to support a bill. I want to see regulation take place, appropriate regulation. I'm disappointed with the product. I'm under no illusion that when this conference ends that there's going to be a product that I'm going to be able to support. But at the end of the day, this is going to be the law of the land. And I realize that politics, unfortunately, in this body overtakes substance at the end. And I realize we have an administration that has an ideology that they're going to push and push and push. But over the course of this conference, I want to say to the chairman and presiding officers that it's my intent, even though I may not be able to support the final legislation, to try to make this bill stronger for those people across our country that are out trying to create jobs. And I want to just say, I just met with, we talk about Wall Street, I just met with 375 community bankers in Tennessee. Not one of them support this legislation. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the time. I thank you for the courtesy. I thank you for the effort. And I hope that this conference yields a better bill than we have before us today.